Hello students, good day once more. Today we are going to talk on comprehension passage. Remember the last time we met, we discussed the topic nominalization of adjective, verbs, and noun itself in a nutshell, right? So today we are going to read a passage and answer the questions. But you are going to pay attention on how I'm going to answer all my comprehension passages so that you too will apply the same method, having at the back of your minds what we said before concerning comprehension passage. Having said that, I want you to listen and know what is expected of you by the time we are done. So by the end of the lesson, A, you should read the passage thoroughly and then understand it. B, identify the main idea in a given passage. C, give answers to the passage read. And D, substitute equivalents for words underlined in the passage. Is that clear? In your instructional materials, as usual, your new concept book 1, senior secondary, pages 76 to 81. And of course, your dictionary. There is no way you will finish your comprehension passage without the help of your dictionary. Is that taken? Okay, now to the comprehension passage proper. Remember I said before now, if you can still remember, for you to do your comprehension passage very well, it's not just enough for you to read it, but remember all that you read. And for that to happen, you must first of all read your questions first. Quickly do what? Read your questions. So open your own passage. Read your questions. Is that clear? And question 1 says, how does the writer feel about this present war? B, to him, which war would have made sense? C, mention 2 things poor people lose in a war. D, how are the people lured into war? E, what happens to the children of the leaders during war? F, what figure of speech is contained in this expression? Marching boots and then shrinking jets. G, dash that arise from the greed of a few men. This is a statement, a quotation from the passage, remember. Then the question, what grammatical name is given to this expression as it is used in the passage? You know what I mean. Your GM and your GF. What is its function? Then H, for each of the following words, find another word or phrase that means the same and that can replace it as it is used in the passage. Now the main passage. Comprehension passage, senseless words. But we do not have to cause the pain, only to absorb it afterwards. That is the great folly. Human beings cause wars. Human beings, at the helm of affairs, start wars. The masses go to sleep one night, and the next morning they wake up to the sound of marching boots and shrinking jets and exploding bombs. The people are never consulted. And any consultation that takes place is always in the form of manipulation or propaganda. The people are manipulated into the war because those at the helm have a monopoly over the means of indoctrination and the information. They can misinform. They misinform the people, they trick into war. The people are manipulated into a war only to have their children killed. their houses destroyed by bombs, and then grenades, and all the time the generals and the politicians stand aside, away from the death and the destructions of the war, and shout that it is indeed a great war. A great war for them because they lose nothing and yet gain everything. The generals and the politicians and the religious leaders and the businessmen send their children away from the country to make sure that they do not suffer from the war. But the workers and the farmers and poor remain and they yield up their children to the war. But how can these soldiers become so cruel? Why do they kill each other and not the generals or the politicians or the businessmen or the religious leaders? Why do they obey the order to kill? Surely they must know that they are killing each other. I have nothing against wars, the thoughts that are fought over principles. Principles that in some way deal with our questions. Where are we going? How are we getting there? But the present war is a war that arises from the greed of a few men. No principles are involved here because even if the country remains one or is divided, nothing really changes. Changes may occur at the top as new people jostle for power, but lower down, where I come from, the farmer and the worker will continue to live in mud houses and starve and be ignorant and sick and yield up their children from senseless wars. If we were asking which way, east or west, if we were asking one man, one loaf, or one man, many loaves, and millions of other men, no loaf at all, this war might have made sense. There ought to be a referendum among the people about my proposed war. The people ought to vote, and by each ballot box, there ought to stand written the history of all the sufferings and deaths and destructions, and finally, the ideas and principles behind all of the past wars. There ought to stand on every street bold placards declaring the aims and principles behind the proposed war, so that the people could see whether the war was in their interests. They would be informed about the possible sacrifices required of each class in society. The people would see their sacrifices in terms of death and destruction and violation and humiliation and labor, and compare these with the profits and power and the exaltation of generals and politicians and religious leaders and business men. They would make the comparisons and see whether the war was in their interest and whether they were willing to carry the cross for the rest of the society. Are we there? Now, having gone through the passage, we are now going back to the questions. This is the time we are going to answer the questions the way it is expected. You are having your reader there, so you will not tell me you are not listening or coping with what I am reading. Remember, this is a whiteboard, So, having said that, let's go to the questions. And then I will read, the question is already on the board, on the whiteboard. I will read the first question. I will wait a while, and then for you to react, then I will supply you with the right answer. Is that clear? Or invariably, I am going to read the questions once more, and then I will move to the answers so that we'll speed up. Okay, comprehension questions. How does the writer feel about this present war? To him, which war would have made sense? Mention 2 things poor people lose in a war. How are the people lured into war? What happens to the children of the leaders during war? F, what figure of speech is contained in this expression? Marching boats and shrinking jets. G, that arise from the greed of a few men. I, what grammatical name is given to this expression as it is used in the passage? II, what is its function? And then H, for each of the following words, find another word or phrase that means the same and that can replace it as it is used in the passage. Means, yield up, crew, surely, principles, jottles. Now, the main comprehension answers. Well, listen, if you remember vividly when we were beginning our lessons concerning comprehension passage, you were made to remember that in any given passage, you must read the passage. The first, you are acquainting yourself with the passage. Then the second time, you read with absolute concentration in order to do what? Fish out your questions, the answers to them, one after the other. So, but I am not going to read the passage the second time because I presume that is already part and parcel of your system. So I am reading it once so that we'll progress. Or do you want me to go back the second time? Of course, I'll tell you no. It's expected that by now, going through once is enough for us to do what? Make move. All right, having said that, here comes the comprehension answers. And then I will read the questions of my own. You will only be a passive listener. But do yourself a favor, just be looking at your reader there. Comprehension answers. That's what you are listening. But use your other eye, be looking at the questions as I read them one by one, and then pass my judgment. Question number 1. How does the writer feel about this present war? Of course, if I've gone through the passage, you will know exactly what the writer said. And then the answer. The answer to the question A is located on the 5th line before the end of the 3rd paragraph. Are you there? You should rush through your passage by now. Let me go back again. The answer to question A is located on the 5th line before the end of the 3rd paragraph. Then the real answer. The writer feels that war is senseless and destructive. Is that taken? All right. Question B. To him, which war would have made sense? To him, which war would have made sense? The answer could be found in the last paragraph, line 9. The answer could be found in the last paragraph, line 9. Answer, war over principles. War over principles. Question C. Mention 2 things poor people lose in a war. Mention 2 things poor people lose in a war? Answer C. Answer is located in second paragraph, line 9 of the passage. Answer is located in second paragraph, line 9 of the passage. The real answer, children and their houses. Question D. How are the people lured into war? How are the people lured into war? Answer is found in paragraph 2 of the passage, line 2. Answer is found in paragraph 2 of the passage, line 2. Then the proper answer, through propaganda or manipulation. Through propaganda and manipulation. All right, the next is question E. What happens to the children of the leaders during the war? What happens to the children of the leaders during the war? Answer E. Answer is located in paragraph 2, line 18. Answer is located in paragraph 2, line 18. I hope you are looking at your textbook, your new concept English. I hope it's in front of you, of course. This is a comprehension passage, not a storytelling class. Okay? The answer to E, the children are sent abroad. Of course, use your country as an example. If anything is happening, the children of the bourgeoisie, the rich, you hardly could see them around. They are always over there. Okay. Question F. Question A. What figure of speech is contained in this expression? Marching boots and the shrinking jets. The expression can be found in paragraph 1, lines 6 to 7. The expression can be found in paragraph 1, lines 6 to 7. Answer is a metaphor for figure of speech. Remember your literature. Your literature, your figures of speech. All right. Question G. Question G. That arises from the greed of a few men. That arises from the greed of a few men. The expression can be found in paragraph 3, lines 11 to 12. GI, grammatical name, adjectives or stroke relative clause. The GN or the grammatical name is what? Adjective stroke relative clause. That, the that clause. Remember? Then II, grammatical F or grammatical function is it modifies the noun was. Is that clear? All right, let's move to question H. Question H. For each of the following words, find another word or phrase that means the same and can replace it as it is used in the passage. Of course, I've given you as many as is. Do yourself a favor by giving yourself more. Using other examples, anyway, not mine. You have other passages in your textbook. For the interest of the topic, hypocrites, you have the word means. Look at that word means, where it is underlined in your passage. You find out that means, another word you could use and replace means without alternating the meaning of that sentence is methods or process. Remember, if you put methods or processes in place of these means, and your intention, the message that the sentence is conveying changes, then your answer is wrong. But if you replace and they still conveying the same idea, then you know that you're on the right path. Is that clear? Okay, I yield up. What is the synonym for each of the following words? Find another word or phrase. What is the synonym for the phrase yield up? You have a word like what? I'm listening. Okay, that's a good attempt. You have let me supply you. Surrender, stop, cease. If you go to the line where you have yield up, you find out that all these are suitable there, and the expression will still maintain the same idea. Okay, I, crew, crew. Yes, are you seeing where I'm talking about? You can replace with the word nestless. You're a cruel human being. When somebody tells you that, just know that you look at yourself the second time. Another word for that, nestless, unkind, callous. Is that clear? All right, to IV, surely, surely, surely. Have you located where it is in your passage? Good. Another word or words, confidently, assured, certainly. Are we there? Then V, principles. Another word for principles. You have belief, opinions, laws. Your principles may be your belief, it may be your opinion, it may be laws governing whatever. Is that clear? Okay, the VI, you have jotted. You can even perceive the meaning of that word when you are pronouncing that particular word, jotted. You are jotling, jotted. Yes, what's another word for that? For mine, you have push. When you're jotling, is that you're pushing somebody or somebody is pushing you. You're struggling to get a particular thing done, or you're finding your way. You press harder in order to do what? To achieve your targets, to get to your destination. Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay. Having listened attentively, I will wish you to go back and pick any of the topics, topic of your choice. In your new concept English, sit down and apply what you have been taught. Is that clear? Just use the same method that I have used. Read the questions before you start reading. Read the first time, read the second time with absolute understanding before you now give your answers. And by so doing, you will go a longer way. And always remember, giving us the equivalent, you cannot just keep guessing. Always make use of your dictionary so that you grow every day. Any given passage should give you an edge to acquire new words every week so that you become a richer person in future. You are not just rich monetarily, but academic-wise. And that will present you an important and intelligent student. And a successful student for that matter, anywhere, any place. See you in our next lesson.